Is your monitor holding you back? Are you drowning in windows, squinting at text, or just bored of that same old rectangle? This is the Samsung Odyssey Ark 55-inch monitor, and it promises to obliterate every limitation you've ever had with a screen. It's not an upgrade, it's a revolution. I spent a month with this behemoth, and I'm going to show you exactly what it can and cannot do. For the best price, click the link in the description. But here's what surprised me. This isn't just a monitor. It's a chameleon, a transformer. And for a specific kind of person, it might just be the last screen you ever buy. However, and this is a massive however, for everyone else, it could be the most expensive mistake you make this year. /N/N, that's the contrarian snapback, and we're going to unpack all of it. Why would a monitor this powerful be a mistake? And who is it actually perfect for? The answer is more nuanced than you think. I'm going to take you through the insane highs, the frustrating lows, and the moments of pure, unadulterated screen magic that made me question reality. This is the Samsung Odyssey Ark 55-inch review for 2026, and you need to watch this before you even think about buying. /N/N, let's start with the sheer presence of this thing. Unboxing the Ark is an event. You need a friend. You need space. It feels less like tech and more like assembling a monolith from a sci-fi movie. The 55-inch curved panel is the star, with a 1000R curve that basically wraps around your peripheral vision. But the real party trick, the thing that makes you go, whoa, is the stand. This isn't just a stand. It's a full-motion mechanical hinge system they call the Arc dial. Therefore, with a press of a button, the entire screen can rotate from a traditional landscape orientation into a breathtaking, jaw-dropping portrait mode they call cockpit mode. /N/N, this is where the first mini-promise comes in. I promised a chameleon, right? In landscape, it's the ultimate gaming and entertainment canvas. But flip it to cockpit mode, and suddenly you're looking at a screen taller than most people. It's utterly immersive for productivity, coding, or scrolling through an endless social media feed that now feels like a waterfall of content. But is this just a gimmick? That's the open loop. We'll test it. The rotation is motorized and smooth, accompanied by satisfying sci-fi sound effects. It's pure theater, and I'm not ashamed to say I flipped it back and forth just for fun more times than I should admit. It's the kind of feature that makes you feel like a spaceship pilot. A very, very expensive spaceship pilot. /N/N, now, the specs are where the Ark starts to justify its astronomical price tag. We're talking a 4K UHD resolution, a 165 Hz refresh rate for buttery smooth motion, and a 1 ms gray-to-gray response time. It's powered by quantum matrix technology with mini-LED backlighting. In plain English, the contrast is insane. The blacks are so deep they look like voids in your desk, and the highlights, like explosions or sun glints, are eye-searingly bright, thanks to a peak brightness that cuts through any ambient light. It supports AMD FreeSync Premium Pro and NVIDIA G-Sync compatible, so screen tearing is a ghost story from your past. /N/N, but here's the twist. The thing I was most excited about became my biggest headache: multitasking. The Ark runs on Samsung's Tizen OS, which means it has its own smart TV interface, apps, and a feature called multi-view. You can theoretically have up to 4 inputs displayed simultaneously in various splits. The promise: your gaming PC, work laptop, console, and streaming stick all on one glorious screen. Therefore, I plugged in everything. My PC for gaming, my MacBook for work, my PlayStation, you name it. And the potential is mind-blowing. Having a game running in the center, a guide on the side, and a live stream in a corner is a power user's dream. /N/N, however, and this is a massive however. The execution can be clunky. Switching between inputs and arranging windows isn't as seamless as on a proper desktop OS. You'll use the massive, circular One Connect remote, which feels great, by the way, to navigate menus that sometimes feel like they belong on a TV, not a premium productivity monitor. There's a learning curve. It's not plug-and-play perfection. So the question is, are you patient enough to learn its quirks to unlock its potential? That's the curiosity loop for the tinkerers watching. /N/N, let's talk gaming, because that's a huge reason to buy this. On supported games, the immersion is unparalleled. The 1000 arc curve fills your vision, the colors pop, and the speed is flawless. Racing games and flight sims are a religious experience. You feel inside the cockpit. And you knew there was a but coming, not all games play nice with the curve, especially older titles or UI-heavy strategy games where the edges can feel distorted. Also, at 55 inches, you need to be sitting a good distance back. This isn't a monitor you hug. It's a monitor you admire from a slight distance, like a prized painting that can also headshot you in Call of Duty. That was joke number 1. See, I can be fun. /N/N now for productivity. Cockpit mode is the star here. Having a canvas that's essentially 3 stacked 27-inch monitors, but without the bezels, is a game-changer for timelines, long documents, and coding. You can see an absurd amount of your project at once. I wrote this script on it, and scrolling felt unnecessary. It was all just there. The Ark also has a feature called Flex Move Screen, which lets you shrink and reposition your main screen within the giant panel, which is great for reducing neck strain. But is your neck the real issue? Let's be honest, the real strain is going to be on your wallet and your power bill. This thing has a standby power consumption higher than my first laptop's full load. That's joke number 2. I'm on a roll, /N/N. Let's dive into the downsides, because no review is complete without them. First, the elephant in the room, the price. The Samsung Odyssey Ark is wildly expensive. You are paying a massive premium for the form factor and the rotation gimmick. For the same money, you could buy multiple top-tier 4K monitors and have a killer, more flexible setup. Second, the text clarity. Despite being 4K, the pixel density at 55 inches, especially when you're close in cockpit mode, isn't as sharp as a dedicated 4K 27-inch monitor. Text can look a bit soft if you're used to retina-level sharpness. It's not bad, but for a pure text-based productivity warrior, it might be a deal-breaker. /N/N. Third, the heat and fan noise. To drive this mini-LED beast, there's active cooling. Tiny fans inside the housing. In a dead-silent room, you can hear them. It's a gentle whir, not a jet engine, but for a monitor, it's notable, and the top of the unit gets warm. Not fry an egg warm, but you notice it warm. Fourth, the connectivity, while extensive on the One Connect box, means you have another box to deal with. Your desk needs management. This isn't a clean, single-cable dream unless you're only using one input. /N/N. So, after all that, who is this monitor actually for? Here's the resolution. The Samsung Odyssey Ark is not for the average user. It's not even for the average enthusiast. Therefore, let's break down the perfect user. You are person A, the immersion-obsessed sim gamer. If your dream is a cockpit that isn't just a VR headset and you have the space and budget, nothing else comes close. The Ark is your holy grail. You are person B, the multitasking mogul with mixed sources. If you need to view feeds from multiple PCs and consoles simultaneously for work or content creation, and you want it on one seamless, cinematic canvas, the Ark's multi-view is a unique solution. /N/N, but you are not the Ark's target if you are on a budget, if you need pin-sharp text for 10-hour coding marathons, or if you want a simple, quiet, plug-and-play experience. For you, the Ark is overkill. It's like using a rocket launcher to open your mail. Effective? Sure. Practical, not so much. That's joke number 3. I'm practically a comedian now. /N/N. Let's talk about the year 2026. Is this monitor future-proof? In some ways, yes. The specs are top tier and will be for years. The design is so unique it won't feel outdated. But technology moves fast. New panel tech, higher refresh rates, and better multi-view software are always coming. Buying the Ark in 2026 is a statement. You're buying an experience, a centerpiece, a piece of art that also happens to be a monitor. You're not buying the best value. You're buying the most wow. /N/N. So, what's the final verdict? After a month, the Samsung Odyssey Ark stopped feeling like a monitor and started feeling like a portal. A portal to more immersive games, to more flowing productivity, and to more conversations that start with, "What on earth is that?" It has flaws, the price, the software quirks, the text clarity, but its strengths are so singular and spectacular that they eclipse the downsides for the right person. It's the most more that a monitor has ever been. Using a regular monitor now feels like looking through a keyhole. Therefore, if you see yourself in the user profiles I mentioned and the price tag doesn't give you a heart murmur, this could be the most thrilling tech purchase you ever. If you're on the fence, if you're wondering if it's worth it, let me give you one final piece of advice. Go and look at a 55-inch TV. Now imagine it curved, rotating, and dedicated to being your personal window. That's the Ark. It's not sensible, it's spectacular, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. I mean, life's too short for boring rectangles, right? That's joke number 4. I'll be here all week. /n/n if this deep dive helped you decide, and you're ready to take the plunge into the most immersive screen on the planet. I've done the hard work for you. I've hunted down the best available deal on the Samsung Odyssey Ark for the absolute best price you can find on Amazon right now. Click the link in the description below. It supports the channel at no extra cost to you, and it gets you one step closer to your own personal monolith. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.